Hi, how you doing? You know who I am and you know what you're watching, but I want to introduce you to a friend of mine. This is Tom Bailey of the Thompson twins, and we're here at the NAUTICA stage. They are currently on tour to promote their album called Close to the Bone. It's a glorious day in Cleveland. Welcome.
Thank you. It's been great.
Good to have you here. It sure is. Your new album is this a major sidestep for you from your style and your previous LPs? Or?
I never call it a sidestep. I mean, there's certainly a different sort of exploration going on from the one that's taken place in the other records. Partly, I think, because of personal experience, which leads you to examine areas of your life that you haven't done before, and partly because it's boring to do the same thing twice, you know?
Right.
So the thing that I think we wanted to avoid this time round was making a very polished album that took months and months to complete, and by the time you finished it you thought, well, was this what we really wanted to do in the first place? You can't remember because it's so long ago that you first thought of it, you know. We wanted to do something much more instant and spontaneous, and I guess something which retained the character and personality of those first thoughts.
Do you think you're getting maybe a little cynical about the record business and overproduction or something?
No more than I always have been.
I see.
No, it's not that. I just think that there's a certain decadence which you can be seduced into, you know, and I think it's taken 7 months to make an album, which is what we did the time before, is actually far too long. And, you know, in the old days, people used to talk about capturing a moment on tape, whereas now you create a moment on tape, and there's something gone wrong somewhere along the line because of that, you know?
Lost the spontaneity of it all.
Yeah, I think there's a magic which you should get between people, and then make a recording of that magic.
Right. Did you produce? Who produced this current
Me and
album?
Rupert Hine, yeah.
Does that makes a big difference, I'm sure, producing
Well,
yourself?
you know, whenever we work with a new producer, which we like to you know, to accentuate these sort of new ideas that we have, so we don't just go down the same pathway. I always go into it thinking, well, you know, I know everything. I'm never, you know, but I always learn something really new. And his major input, which was a fascinating one, which was to say, he came and lived with us for a while and said, I don't want to hear any music. Let's read words. And for 2 or 3 weeks we sat around just talking about the meaning of this line and that line and how it relates to the line before and after it. So it helped us obviously to focus on our songs and know when we got to the studio exactly what we meant, what we were gunning for. And that also helped us to be brief about it. You know, we didn't spend, you know, a week trying out this way of singing, that way of singing. We already knew pretty much what we had to go for.
Sort of like a method acting thing, you know, the idea you're trying to convey through the words can affect the music.
I never thought of it like that, but since you mention it, yeah, there's a similarity there.
You know, the noticeable difference between the Thompson twins now and then is that Joe LEEWAY is no longer with the group. Do you think this caused the major change in your sound? Was there a big difference after he left?
No, you know, in all the practical ways of writing and making the record, to be honest, Joe wasn't missed so much in those areas because Alan and I become the songwriting team, I guess, which is one of the reasons he left, because I think he wanted to do some work on his own. And also we'd become pretty much the recording duo as well. The other reason he left, I should say, is because he fell in love.
Oh, that can change everything.
He wanted to live in one place and get married and settle down, buy a house, which he's done. And we're still best friends and everything. When he lives in LA now, and when we played there, he played with us. Blah, blah,
good.
blah.
Yeah, that's good. It's a real waste of time when you end relationships.
Just to tie up on that one. But where we really missed him actually was just on a day-to-day friendship basis. You know, when you live so closely with someone like that for 7 years, and then suddenly, you know, you think, are we missing someone here? You know,
yeah.
Should there be an extra person? And there's a lot of that goes on.